On top of Signal Mountain in Chattanooga, Tennessee, Francis Jones has created an amazing hillside garden. And if you think you garden on a hillside, I bet you can't compete with this. There are evergreen plantings that hold the slopes. There are crinums in full bloom in front of me. There's an azalea collection, a viburnum collection, a conifer collection that we'll see in just a moment. And I'm going to take a climb back up the side of the mountain here, meet Francis up in the garden. Francis, I'm amazed at the garden that you have carved out of the side of the mountain here.
Well, that's the problem, is the side of the mountain.
That has been the challenge.
Yes,
over how many years?
Oh, I guess I started the garden really in about 1986. My husband was killed by a drunk driver in 1984, and I had to go take over running our business. And this was my therapy.
I understand.
I came home and started digging.
Right.
And so I came through by it naturally. My mother and my grandmother were in the flower business in Mississippi when I was a child. So, and my mother was a graduate from the University of Illinois in horticulture and floriculture.
Oh, wow.
So
you did come by it naturally.
I picked it up just by being around them is what I did, and that's so that I kind of went back to my roots.
So 30-some years ago, this all began.
There was a house here, stone house. In fact, all that stone you saw sitting over there came from where we tore the stone house down here, and then I tore a house down on the other side over.
So you have several lots up here.
7 to be exact.
7.
7
wow.
on the brow. Yeah.
And so, you have just over the years carved out gardens
just gradually
places.
Yeah.
And we're standing up here kind of at the top in a relatively flat spot.
Yeah, exactly.
But as they saw in the opening and all of that, it goes way down the side of the mountain.
Oh yeah, it does, absolutely.
Quite a...
In fact, I went over the bluff right here.
Oh my goodness.
Riding lawnmower.
Oh no, and live to tell about it.
I live to tell about it.
My gosh. But one of the things that you do have is quite a collection of conifers.
I thought, I love conifers, and I thought, well,
and it's such a rich tapestry of colors and textures. We've got the blue spruce back there, and beautiful golds. And
right, that's what I tried to do, is to try to get them sort of mixed up with the colors. So
right.
I've tried to get, like I've got about 25, 26 different Japanese maples, and I've got all those viburnums.
Well, one of the other things that you have, in addition to a tremendous collection of plants, is quite a collection of art, and specifically sculpture.
Yes, I was a potter once upon a time.
Okay.
So I kind of relate to three-dimensional things more than I do. My daughter's a painter, but and my son's an architect. But Mama likes sculptures.
Right,
so,
right.
Anyway. So.
And you have some beautiful pieces, and you've collected pieces from artists.
Yeah.
Just anything that sort of speaks to you.
Exactly. That's what I've done.
I like some of these that move.
I love the kinetic sculptures. Right, exactly. But that one moves just the slightest little breeze. That one will move.
Something on it. You have one of the most unique water features that I have seen. Tell me how this came about.
Well, I wanted to have a little waterfall, and these rocks look like they were the perfect thing to have water come over.
Yes.
So my son suggested that I fix a disappearing waterfall. So I wouldn't have to have a pool to clean out.
Right, so there's no open water here that requires maintenance.
No,
This actually trickles down these rocks and disappears into the gravel.
Yes.
But the secret is that then it's actually piped over to the other rock and falls almost 15 feet or so down into another disappearing pool below where it's recirculating.
Exactly, right. We had planned to have it run over the rocks, but it was just going back under.
Yeah, not enough.
And it just wasn't.
Flow to make it fall.
Right. It didn't look
trickled.
right. So
so you created the trough and now have that nice little stream of water that comes over. It's beautiful. One of the things I notice is that you obviously have this tremendous tree canopy overhead, and then you've layered things in under that.
I've tried to, because originally there weren't many trees or anything in here. It was just sort of a jungle over here, inundated with wisteria, which was just the worst thing in the world.
Something that you had to deal with.
Yes, and so we gradually added different things and tried to get some understory going in here.
Right. So, and I think that's really an important thing to talk about in designing a garden is that you've got your big overhead tree canopy with your shade trees.
Exactly.
And you come in with things like these beautiful dogwoods and the Japanese maples that's lit up behind us here. And then you get on into your shrub layer here, and then all the way down to ground level with the perennials. So you've got those very distinct layers all the way through this garden.
Well, I've tried to.
Yeah, and even in a summer season like this, when the spring wildflowers are gone, you've got so much interesting texture and color in the foliage and all of that.
Thank you.
That's
what we hope for.
And that was the goal, and it has obviously worked.
Exactly. Well, never saw a plant I didn't like.
Right.
And it's, you buy them and then where you're going to stash them.
Exactly. And that's what all of us go through as gardeners, I think. I always have a pile of plants that don't have a home.
I've got some over there behind my greenhouse.
Very good. Well, one more really fascinating tree I want to point out is this big leaf magnolia. Magnolia macrophylla?
I'm not sure whether it's ash-eye
or it could be ash-eye.
I'm not sure. But it has to do with right here.
Right.
Which one it is, but I'm not sure.
But it's so fascinating and such a fantastic texture in amongst all of these other trees that have just kind of small leaves. This is one of the largest leafed deciduous trees in North America.
It is.
And it gets big white magnolia blooms on it in the spring. There's the seed pod up there, and that would have been a big white flower a few weeks ago.
Yeah, exactly.
So just one more fascinating plant in this garden that I am amazed that you have carved out of the top and side of this mountain.
Well, it's been a labor of love, you know that.
Well,
anybody that
I am so grateful for you opening up for us and letting us come and visit. Thank you so much.
For inspiring garden tours, growing tips, and garden projects, visit our website at volunteergardener.org or on YouTube at the Volunteer Gardener channel, and like us on Facebook.